Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Spark of Genius Flesh and Blood production. Joined with my co-creator, co-commentator, co-caster, co-compatriot Rob on the
Oh,
side over there. He's going to be Mr. Noah Bagelman. I'm going to be Mr. Matt Rogers for this particular
that's
video.
fair.
But we are, so it says the Battle Hardened, but this is actually the PTI event that happens the next day. So 66 players, 7 rounds. And we said we would be kind of looking a bit more into a couple of these gameplay reviews leading up to the PT. By the time this video goes up on Thursday, PT will start the next day. So it's
Hmm.
kind of the, kind of last point before PT we can release it here. This is, of course, was also produced by Ethan of Savage Feet, so we're able to kind of look at everyone's hand and such. Again,
Yeah,
shout out
really
to Ethan
nice,
for
nice
producing.
feature. Really good
Yeah.
camera setup for these videos.
Oh yeah. Let me shout out for producing. Well, I mean, the best producing content in Flesh and Blood as far as like tournament coverage and
Yeah,
such is like bar none, right? So appreciate Ethan for providing us this kind of providing everyone this kind of content that we can watch and enjoy. And more importantly, review. So this is going to be the same kind of format as we did for Noah's other game, the
hmm
Kayo versus Dromai in the top eight. This is also a top eight game. This is the first round of top eight, so this is quarters. Third seed Noah versus sixth seed Matt Rogers. KO, obviously, Noah playing KO again as he did in Battleharn, kind of makes sense. And we're going to see how he fares against Matt Rogers Kassai. I don't think I've seen him play Oldhim once, and Dash a lot, but I've never seen him play like outside of those two heroes. I've never seen him play
yep,
something like
that's
Kassai.
true. We
So
haven't really reviewed many of his games that were beyond those two heroes. I think, or
yep,
it's been a while, so this will be kind of fun
been a
to watch. I
while.
think, and I haven't seen this video yet, so it'll be fun for me to kind of,
I've seen parts of it. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't examine it in like a review aspect, but I did watch part of it as just like a viewer.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Want me to start the
so it
video?
looks like, yeah, it looks
Might
like
as well
we
get rolling.
see. I think Noah chose to go first. So he is third seed because we do see he probably discarded an agile windup and passed with his tunic. So now we're on
Right.
Matt
Yeah,
Rogers'
I think we
turn.
skipped a little bit here, but yeah, all right. Very nice blue
That's
valor here.
I like oh no, it's actually Blue Hit and Run. But I like Matt Rogers putting his swords on top of each other, just putting the Dynamo as his second like offhand
Oh
equipment
yeah,
piece.
that's interesting. I would wonder what the reasoning behind that is. I guess because you're using it so often that you just want it to have beside
Yeah.
your hero.
I think he just like maybe he wants to remind himself to
Yeah,
always be walking with it.
it's like having
That could be a
it's
purpose.
like a giant dice for your tunic counters. That's kind of
Yep.
the same idea.
Yep. So it looks like Matt Rogers is coming in with your basic go again Kasai, activating the grains, coming in with the hot streak. Pretty low damage. I can't see Noah wanting to take this. He has a 5 card hand with might agility.
Mhm.
It looks like his hand is a Savage Feast. Looks like he has a Blood Rush in there. I think it's his
All right, the hand
hands
cam.
are a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, the hand cam is a little bit far back for me to tell, but it looks like he just took it. Matt just making another vigor because grains is not once per turn. It is as many times as
Pretty
you
good
go. There you
equipment.
go. Oh, so
I did see a
there's a
blood
blood
rush in
rush.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blood rush. It looks like a wild ride. It looks like a bear fangs. Also, very 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 good hand.
I like how he
So
plays
you
it
have your
also
blue.
backwards so the opponent can see clearly what card he's
Yeah.
playing.
So
Yeah.
unfortunately, he discards the bear fangs. I mean, he would have liked to
hmm
discard not the bear fangs. Well, the savage feast is also fine, I think.
Yeah, Savage Feast is very
Um,
nice on this turn because he had agility, right? So it's going to be very
okay.
nice.
So let's pause for a sec right here because he's got a
Sure.
couple options. And this is part of the review because he can take multiple lines here, right? So on a 5 card blood rush, your only goal is to push damage. You like
hmm
pushing damage is much better versus arsenaling here because you are against Kassai. This is considered probably an unfavored matchup for KO. KO could definitely win, but in general, Kassai has a lot of value because of Dynamo. Um, her mid-range game is still pretty strong, and you can have
Yeah.
value with things like Blood Rush and Cast Bones. However, tit for tat, Kassai actually does quite well and can create quite a bit of value off tokens like gold, vigor, and copper.
hmm
Right. So the name of the game is Noah's going to want to keep up the aggression to not let Matt have any kind of space to be able to come back with that mid-range value plan. So at this
Yeah.
point he has a Savage Feast. I believe he also has a CNC and he has a Swing Big. So his first option, he doesn't have the agility, so he can kind of start with whatever. He could start with the Swing Big. I mean, Matt Rogers does have an arsenal. CNC is always going to be live there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Tunic. Tunic on 3 would be great here, but
Yeah.
that's fine. So you could start with a Swing Big and come in for a nice 11 because of the Might token, right? You come 8 plus 1 plus 2. So you come in with 11 go again. You'd have 0 floating, but then you would have 2 reds in hand, and you can't really swing claw. And I don't know what is in his
Hmm.
arsenal. We didn't see what he arsenal. Assuming it's another threat, he wouldn't be able to pay for that threat. So essentially, it's a 2 attack blood rush. Ideally, on a 5 card hand, you want to be striving for that three attack turn. So
Yeah.
usually it's something claw because blood rush hit a 6, so your claw's gonna have go again, and a final attack. Usually with 2 blues, you could do a 2/2/2. So like a 2 costed attack, claw for 2, and then the last thing for 2 with 2 blues. However, he doesn't have he didn't draw into another blue. He probably would have liked another blue, is my guess, but he drew into the double red. So
Yeah.
the other option is CNC. I think that's just kind of not
You
the best.
likely
It's not
wouldn't play
brute.
that. It doesn't get the buff
No,
from Blood Rush.
correct.
Yeah, it's not even great into Kassai really. So I don't
And
know.
yeah, and you don't get the buff from Blood Rush. That's a big, big, big deal. You want to extract value off Blood Rush. So the last option, which I believe is the best option, is starting with Savage Feast. Because Savage
Hmm.
Feast is
Yeah.
very, very good off agility because you get to replace a card. And
Yeah.
it'll come in for 9, right? 6 plus
Hmm.
1 plus 2. Very respectable damage. And you'll be able to draw that card, search for the blue, because that's the key. You want to get more resources. So at the very least, a yellow.
Yeah.
And it's by far your best shot of unloading a 3 attack hand.
Yeah.
So that being said, I assume he's probably looking to start with the Savage Feast.
Yeah. And best case scenario, you discard CNC, draw blue, and then you can pay the 2 for the claw, and then 2 for the swing big as well. So you
Yes,
can get a really good
that
value
is.
turn. If it lines up, we'll see if it does.
Yeah, that would be a 9/5/10 if he's able to do
Yeah,
that.
and that's what you're looking for exactly. Unless the arsenal is a little better than a swing big, but
Yep.
I kind of doubt it would be. I think that's it was okay. Discarded swing big,
It's,
unfortunately, kept the CNC and drew into a beast within. So this is
well,
kind of unfortunate,
it's not. It could be worse. It could be another red because at least here he
right?
could pitch the Beast Within,
For a
play the
claw,
Claw, and if he has a 2 costed attack in the arsenal, he could pitch the CNC and send the 2 costed attack, which is likely going to be 8 power, if assuming it's a brute 2 for 6.
yeah,
So
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
it could be. It's probably the second worst. It's like the second cheapest line. It's the second worst scenario.
yeah. It could have been red, and
Um,
just like you said, you wouldn't be able to afford claw in that case. So I guess we'll
yes.
see what's in the arsenal. I'm hoping it's not like a 3 costed attack, because if it is,
I
he
don't
can't
know.
really play it, or he can,
I
but you
don't
have
know
to
how many.
pitch everything.
No, he couldn't play it because he only has 1 pitch floating. So even if he has
One
a red in hand,
pitch, and
right?
he has red. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course
Yeah,
you can't afford it. Yeah.
yeah. Three costs would be bad. I think 3 costs would be quite.
Um.
Wait, it's turn 0 though, so I assumed he would have arsenaled something like
Yeah.
a 2 cost if he had one, because that is by far the best thing to put in your arsenal because
Hmm.
it's much easier to like a swing big in the arsenal would be pretty insane right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because it looks like Matt Rogers did block 7 on the Savage Feast. He looks like he's gonna take another 5 from the Claw here. Best case scenario, he's got that. Looks like he does have the okay, so he has the runner extended runner, very
Runner.
nice
Okay.
runner.
Okay.
Eight.
So yeah, obviously didn't start with. Oh, actually, starting with that.
So he,
Actually, I
he
don't
could
even
have
know if
so
because of
so he
agility,
could have
right? So
started with
you
that.
get the
He
go
could have
again.
started with that. However, then if he Savage Feast, he doesn't have go again on the Savage Feast, so he definitely cannot go 3 attacks
Okay.
wide. So he went with the Savage Feast line because that was literally his only
Yeah.
possible way of going 3 attacks wide. Yeah, runner, you get the agility. It's true.
Right.
However, you lose a lot of damage. So just treating runner as a 2 for 8, pretty reasonable because
Yeah.
now your Blood Rush is a 1 for 6. Blood
Hmm.
Rush 1 for 6 versus Blood Rush 1 for 6s are how you beat Kassai.
Right.
Because
Right.
this I still feel like this is a bit of an unfavored matchup. So you really do need to get max value. So and you're gonna
Right.
strip 3 cards right here from Matt Rogers. Not wanting to take the 8. I don't really blame him. Kasai usually works much better on 2 card hands. In this
Right.
case, it's gonna be a 2 card hand. It's gonna be a 1 card hand, but he has 2 floating. So
Right.
it's an effective 2 card hand because
Right.
2
You get your
floating is
one
essentially
card
his pitch.
pitch. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
did say
looks
the
like Matt
CNC
had
was drawn. I think he actually no, he probably blocked with the CNC, right? So,
no,
uh,
he discarded it with the oh no, he pitched it. He pitched it for the attack
oh, he pitched
with
it.
the
Okay.
CNC. Yeah, he pitched it for the attack to play the runner. Um, because otherwise he would have had to swing big if he discarded it, which
Or
would be very good.
oh, sorry, I just meant Matt Rogers blocked with the CNC that was in his hand earlier.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
because there's no arsenal,
there
so
wouldn't
it
be a
doesn't.
point to keeping it. Yeah, so it
I
made
think
sense.
there's something to be said because Matt Rogers has a sync left. There's something to be said with giving the sync and keeping the CNC, if
CNC?
Noah did have an arsenal, because
Yeah.
then you just turn your 2 into a 2 for 6. So it's a 1 card
Mm.
6. which with an on hit, which is very, very good,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that would have been the ideal play. However, Matt is a good enough player to
To
realize
not
that
just
without
keep
an
your
arsenal,
CNC for no point. Yeah.
yeah, six vanilla Noah would take every day of the week,
Yeah.
every day through Sunday, which I think
Absolutely.
is played on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. All
so
right.
now Noah, he's got a reincarnate, he's got an agile wind up his turn. Doesn't really need to do it on Matt's turn unless he has something like a two two attacks, like two strong attacks he wants to play, like maybe CNC swing big or something. But it
Mm.
looks like he's going to give the claw.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Dude, going to be a casual 4 go again. And then he's likely going to either use the tunic to. I don't remember exactly the last two cards of his hand here. Oh, it looks like a riled up and a clash of agility.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
riled up and clash of agility. So my guess is he's going to tunic to clash of agility for 6, and then he's going to riled up in the arsenal. Riled up is
Hmm.
still okay because usually when you discard, it still comes in for 6. Like it's a 3 for 5, but it can
Yeah.
come in for 6. Usually discard
Yeah. Yeah.
almost every turn, right?
And pitches for 2, I
So
believe, is he runs the yellows.
no, riled up is a blue, pitches for 3.
Oh, it's blue 5, yellow 6.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This one's gonna be the blue. I think it's a reasonable arsenal. I don't hate it, especially like
Right.
it gets more value as a 3 for 6, taking 2 cards instead of blocking 3 when you're already
Right.
up on life and you've already been maximum efficient.
Yeah.
Maximum efficient means he blood rush one. He turned blood rush into a 1 for 6, and he used tunic when it was up. So far, Noah's doing very well. I think he's taking all the right plays.
Well-oiled machine, I think.
Surely he went forward in time and looked at the video with Dromai and then took it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he knows always play Savage Feast first.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
um, it's
Hmm.
it's interesting that Matt is blocking pretty heavily. It kind of indicates to me that he doesn't feel like
Yeah.
being the aggressor in these matchups is that ideal. However, he's gonna just give him 2 cards, take it's like 3 damage overall, and
Yep. I think he knows that he should stay at a higher life total just to kind of weather out the threats from the Chaos deck. Because once you
fair.
get to a point where you're just tit for tat in a more of a mid range kind of battle, Kassai will have the edge.
That's
Just how
true.
much
Yeah,
value she can generate. So keeping your life total high makes a lot of sense for me, or at least to
yep.
me.
Yeah, making the game go long, giving Matt
Yeah.
more time to make tokens like this copper token he's threatening with Spoils of War.
Hmm.
Bad, not good for KO. So I'd like to see Matt does have 1 card in hand, so he'll be able to hot streak for sure. Because the go again is unconditional. It looks like Noah has a beast within. He's hovering here. It looks like he has an assault and battery. Doesn't lead me to believe he has that. And he has the riled up in arsenal. I don't know what his other 2 cards here. He does have the agility and might though. So there is something to be said about his hand being very strong in general. However, letting Kassai get copper is very bad because it looks like he has a Savage Feast too in his hand, which is quite interesting. Letting Kassai
Okay, yeah.
get copper is one of the ways Kassai will blow you out because blood on our hands is a legitimate win condition in this matchup and is the way I see Kassai winning more often than not is off good blood on our hands.
Right.
So I think Noah is correct blocking this just for 5. Very, like the only thing Matt could have is a Blade Flurry. I don't think you want to play around Blade Flurry. Giving the scabs, perfect blocks here.
Yep.
Not really allowing anything to happen.
And 2 weapon swings, removing counter from Dynamo. Very, very important in this matchup. You want to do that every time you can, just for that incremental value.
Yep. No, I agree. So Noah getting the might.
So
here,
second
very,
might,
very
very
good.
nice. Yeah, second might from the Bone Breaker. And we're
So
seeing.
it looks like it was a wild ride. That was his last card. It's a red. How he's
Okay.
gonna get the beast within here. So
Yeah,
the beast
guaranteed
within gonna draw a
discard.
card.
Very nice.
Yep.
Getting the
And
agile
then
wind up.
gonna draw 1 from Savage Feast also, which is quite nice. So back to a 2-card hand, and that's that. And that looks like another beast
Second
within.
beast within. Yeah, how do you make this work? You don't have any floating, so you can't even
This
really.
is
Use it.
This is fantastic because you can 8. You can pitch the beast
Pitch for
within
claw,
to come
maybe?
in for 3. Yeah, you pitch beast
Yeah.
within for claw, and you pitch the other 3 for riled up for 6. So he's now done another 3 attack turn. He kind of stumbled into it a bit.
Oh,
And then because I assume the agile windup is a blue. If it's a yellow, then I'm incorrect. But I assume it's a blue.
Good question. I think I saw blue, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, if it's
If it is a
yellow,
blue-
I think you just kind of. Oh yeah, actually, how do you even use that? You have no floating, so you have to pitch for claw, and then that's your turn, I guess.
If it's yellow, you just discard it for
And you
agility, and that's
discard it for the
fine.
agility, right? Yeah.
Nah, just discard for agility, just claw. That's it's unfortunate, but it's fine here.
Hmm.
But he's going to be able to come in for 836, which is
Yeah, nice 17 damage there.
17. 17, no blood rush. Like Noah's doing really,
He's
really
chilling.
well.
Yeah.
Much luckier than the last game we saw
What
him.
was that?
Not lucky.
Double blood rush for like 18, I think was the turn last time.
Okay, so he did decide to instead. So it was a yellow. So he did just
Okay.
decide to pitch two yellows to come in for 14. I think that's also reasonable. I think
Okay. Yeah.
the value for discarding windup is much lower here because he already has the might from the Savage Feast. I think there
Mm.
is something to be said about um, clawing, like if that wasn't a Savage Feast and he didn't have the might,
Hmm.
discarding the windup to get both agile and might is quite strong, and the rile up's not going anywhere. And creating another turn where you have agility and might from one card is pretty good because you can see Matt already blocked with a blood in her hands another card, so his turn
Right.
can't be like that strong.
Yeah.
So I think pretty reasonable to just pitch it here because Matt's already blocking. He already got the might token. It's fine. Trying to like take as many cards as he can from
Mm.
Matt because every time he blocks with Dynamo, Matt really just have to keep two cards back. One go against
Right.
source
Yeah.
and a pitch card.
And a pitch card.
Right
Yeah. And it's
now,
not even that strong of a turn, really.
no.
It's kind of just kind of swinging twice and getting your counter back on Dynamo. So it's it's not great value, I guess, if you're just doing that all
Mm.
game.
Yeah, you get essentially 7 value. You get two and
Seven.
then like a red and then a red one
Like
for three
Valor or
essentially.
something. Yeah.
Blade, holy moly, I forgot the name of the card. The 1 for 3 gets a go again. 1 for 3 on the next sword. Forgot the name of the card.
Blade
That's fine.
Runner.
Blade Runner. There you go. Like a basic Blade Runner because you run a
Yeah.
bunch of Blade Runners. Um, Matt going to be putting a bit of pressure with this gold token. I think giving Matt gold is a lot better than giving him copper because
Mm.
the win con in this matchup for Matt is
Mm.
not raise an army.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Giving him
coppers
gold in
present
other
a lot
matchups.
more of a threat with blood in their hands.
Yes. Yes, it does. That is how he swings the game here. So my guess is there's probably a Blade Runner. There it is,
Very nice.
giving
Yeah.
the nice go again. So he's gonna come in. He's gonna get 1 value from Dynamo because he's gonna get it back.
Right. Right.
He's gonna get a gold, which is cool, and then he's going to come in for 5 here. So just a nice casual 7. I think Noah's hand is E Strike, Clash, Bare Fangs, Assault. Pretty reasonable hands. I can see him getting the agility with the that's what he's gonna do because Clash of Agility very very good into Kassai. You're almost always gonna win. I lied. You're gonna push because that's a Blood Rush bellow. I spoke too soon.
That's a lot of information too to give out. But unfortunately, you lose and you
And
give out the
Noah,
information of a blood rush.
Noah in both of these games really not doing good on the flips here.
Mm.
He did that cast bones for like 4 and to
Four,
Droma.
yeah.
He is not the luckiest KO player in the world here, but
But he's still winning, which is very
he's
good.
winning.
Yeah.
Yes, the agility would have been real nice because he has E strike, so he could have drawn a card off that.
Yeah,
if he
that's
wanted,
that's
but
pretty important.
my guess is he's still either. So here he could either come in for 7.
Yeah, and an
No,
Arsenal is not so bad, probably.
he could. Yeah, so it's a 1 damage difference. So he's got Arsenal of Bare Fangs. Bare Fangs way better than Arsenal. His
Oh
other
yeah.
play was to put the Bare Fangs to the bottom, give it go again, and pitch for Claw. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
You want to
it's
kind of
1
save
damage.
that for the blood rush turn, I think, because a 5
Yeah,
card blood rush turn is way better than just pushing 3 damage on this turn.
yeah, and no one knows there's Blood Rush, right? And he knows he
Nobody
has a
knows.
tunic up. Yeah, he knows he also has
Tunic
tunic up
up
next
is
turn.
so important too. Yeah, I think the stars
Yeah.
are aligning for this blood rush turn. You got to go for it. Just hoping that Matt doesn't have a CNC. I don't see one, so I think we're okay.
Nope. I think there's an E strike, so Matt probably looking to block out and then E strike for 7. That's my
I think it's a
But-
blood in her hands actually, so there's no E strike. I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So he's just giving everything. It looks like.
Yeah, looking to give 7 here, preserve some life. I think that's smart because he saw the blood rush. He knows he's like very unlikely to be able to block out. Definitely
Mm.
not all of it, but enough to stem the
Um,
bleeding here.
So it's
Nourishing
a
emptiness.
it's a nourishing. Okay. Ooh.
Dominate.
So
I would
that would be
heavily
very
assume.
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, so this is actually very good into the blood rush turn. If he gets the extra intellect, this is going to be one more card to be able to block with.
Okay, so let's stop here for a sec here. So he has the blood rush, bare fangs. I believe I saw another Clash of Agility. So
Mm,
there's really no reason. Say you don't you don't want nourishing hitting because
mm-hmm.
you're about to go off with Blood Rush.
Yeah.
The last thing you need is to Matt have an extra blocking card, get value,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So then I
Um,
guess the question is, should you give up your scowling flesh bag then to prevent it
yes.
from hitting? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give up the scowling here just because um first it's still preventing damage, right? So
Mm,
you can use scowling, you can use the arm piece to give you a might token because you have Clash of Agility, right? So
right.
you have Clash of Agility because that's like the perfect block. If you didn't have Clash of Agility, then yeah, maybe you just use the
Mm,
scabs, right?
yeah.
Save them, like because you want again you want to maximize every point of damage in this matchup, otherwise you will not win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so unless you're just like blindly lucky, but Noah is not
Yeah.
blindly lucky here. So I think you give Scabs, Arms, and Clash of Agility because then you have Bare Fangs, you have Blood Rush. I believe if you have a blue, that you're just off to the races, right? And you have a blood,
Um,
and you have the Bare Fangs in Arsenal.
well, I think you'd have to give. That's only 5 block, right? Scabs, uh, Bonebreaker,
No, he's not.
and
No. Helmet.
you meant
Helmet for
helmet.
2.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I meant helmet. Fleshbag. It'd be Fleshbag,
Yeah. Predator.
Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonebreaker, and then the
Bonebreaker.
Clash of Agility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would give the +1 on the might. So let's see what he does here. That's
Yep.
what I would think would be
That's
what he wants to do.
Yeah, and Clash
Yeah,
isn't really
he's
that good
a
on its own too, so it's not really a card you really want to play that much on your turn. If you can prevent an intellect, so it'll be worth kind of like 6 value at this point if he blocks this out.
Yeah, he does have a blue assault and battery, so I do believe he has that blue. So there's really no reason
Uh,
to. Yeah, so that's what he's gonna end up doing. I agree with this. I think it is the
yeah, yeah.
right play here.
The one
It looks like
extra
he's gonna
intellect
get
would
the
have been way
agility.
too strong.
Yeah, imagine he gets the fate on top. Imagine if the fifth card's a fate
It's a fate.
also,
It's
like
4,
sync
yeah.
or
So
fate.
instead of 3,
Yeah,
it's an extra 4. Yeah, very
yeah.
strong. All right.
Gets the might agility. He has the tunic.
So Tunic
He
pays
also now knows
really
what's.
well for
He knows
for
there's
Blood
a
Rush.
he knows there's a blue on top too. So he's gonna tunic for it. Maybe that's a red assault and battery. That would be the only thing that makes sense. So
Okay.
we're not. Yeah, he got rid of the bear fang. This is why he arsenaled the other bear fang, so he knew he had it. But he knows he's
Yeah.
drawing into a blue, and then it looks like a round up. So second blue. So he has six.
Yeah.
He has
Okay.
6 pitch. So he's fine.
So Bear
Um,
Fangs is gonna be really nice to be able to. I believe it's draw discard, so help him kind of filter the hand a little bit. So you can
yep.
pitch a blue Bear Fang, see what you get. You can always claw, and then maybe hopefully play something that costs 2
Yeah.
after that. So
Yeah. That's definitely the idea. So he's gonna pitch the smashing swing to the bear fangs. He does have agility. This makes total sense. The only reason he wouldn't do this if he didn't have the agility, he draws into pulping, which
pulping,
is
right?
very good.
Yeah,
Very good because it pushes damage.
and
There's the
lost
assault
the.
battery.
Okay, that's I think that's perfect.
That's
So
yeah,
you have
that is
exactly
perfect.
enough for claw and for your pulping.
Yeah, so he's doing the stuff now. He's
Yeah,
getting average luck.
the juice. Yeah.
He's
So we're
getting the
looking at
juice.
11 damage plus 5 on claw, 16 plus 8 on pulping.
8.
So 24
Yep.
damage, and one of them's dominated. So, heck yeah.
Yeah, 11-5. That's very like a blood rush for 21 plus. Like you
Yeah.
want to get to at least 20. 3 card blood rushes usually end up doing like a 5 and an 8.
Yeah,
Or a 9, sorry,
actually.
with might.
So, and I forgot this was a, instead of a 5 card blood rush, it was a 4 card
4 card.
blood rush. So,
Yep. It
yeah.
was a 4 card blood rush. But luckily his Bear Fangs was in his arsenal, so
Mm-hmm.
he will have always had a threat to come in
Yeah.
with because that's how you get juice. It's like you just don't get a single 2 for 6 or a 3 for 7 or whatever, and
Yeah.
you just have no pitch.
It's a bunch of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there aren't like too many blues in the deck. Not really sure how many, but probably on the line of like maybe 16.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's possible not to draw one for the blood rush turn.
Yep, discards the wild ride. It has dominate. I mean, I think usually Matt only has 1 card in hand anyways. There's that fate we saw, so he's gonna take 3
Oh,
here.
it was a yellow pulping. So not 8 for 7 only. A meager
Oh.
7 damage. But
Okay.
23
takes-
damage.
Yeah, I mean Matt's at 14 versus Noah's 28 here, so he has such a
Yeah.
nice life buffer that he's able to. And Matt doesn't have any cards; he's just gonna draw up here. But Matt does have armor left. Um,
Yeah, that's right.
Interestingly enough, Matt running. What was the cast bones? Matt running. That's all you got.
Mm.
Not, I mean, it's a yellow
Yeah.
block three. Not really for this matchup, in my opinion. Like it's
Yeah,
because I
there aren't
believe
many
reads.
sources of like two go again really in the deck. The claw is always going to be three, so it's never going to get the draw card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
like
probably for
triple
the
checking.
ninja, maybe for the ninjas.
Yeah, it might be like a sideboard issue, is my guess, where like you just didn't have enough slots to side it out, and it's just a yellow three block in this particular case.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true, but either way, it's blocking three, so it's not awful. I mean, it's probably what you want to do anyway into a blood rush turn. Could have been a red
Yeah.
for four, but you're already probably running three of each.
So it looks like this is just going to be discarding wind up, get a pitch, probably claw, and then cast bones, and then arsenal your last card. This seems like the
Yeah.
most reasonable thing. He's got a 14 health life lead. He's
Mm-hmm.
got one more piece of armor here.
Yeah,
So
we talk about blood rush being like a 1 for 6 usually, kind of on a good day. Um,
not in KO. KO is usually a 1 for 4. Reinar
yeah.
Levi is usually a 1 for 6.
So yeah, so if you kind of think about that value wise, cast bones could be like a 0 for 6, right? So cast bones could actually be just as good, if not better, than a blood rush.
So it looks like
That's
Noah's up
a
to his old tricks
is that a
again, only hitting
4?
4.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
too
he's up to
bad.
5 because he discarded the wind up, and that's why you have wind up. You discard it, you get the agility regardless.
Yeah,
Funnily enough, if he had the blue mighty wind up, that would have discarded for 2 might. He would have got 4. He would have still got the agility. So
yeah,
wind up's very, very powerful in
yeah.
KO. He's going to end up arsenaling, I believe, what looks like an assault and battery. I hope it's red, but it could be blue.
Right.
Not a
Yeah.
terrible card to have because we did see him discard red assault, so it is, it could be a red assault with the random discard, I believe, from the Bare Fangs or the Wild Ride or something. We do
Hmm.
see Tear Limb from Limb, definitely more of a
Yeah.
rare. Like this event at this point is a little bit further back. I don't know how he feels about it now, but Tear Limb from Limb, an interesting card, able to
It can really win
uh,
more if you can get it off.
better, like good utilization for big hands. That if you don't have Go Again or Agility,
Yeah.
it is another source of damage that you can use for your big hands,
Right.
making them quite
Yeah.
large.
Because I remember kind of anecdotally, I would have certain hands where I just didn't have go again, no agility,
Yeah.
and I have the control of the turn, and I can't really play them
Mhm.
all. So it's really nice to be able to discard things for agility. And in this case, I mean, it might pay off. We'll see what Matt does, but he has the agility anyway, so I don't think Tear Limb from
Yep.
Limb is going to be that huge. Unless you can really make it work with like a really good pop off on like maybe a swing big, which would be amazing. But it might just become like 6 damage, so it
Yep.
won't be like a huge
So
huge payout.
drawing the gold here, it looks like there's a sink. There's a final engagement. Okay, it looks like it's just gonna be a CNC for
No, not bad,
6.
not bad.
I wonder what's this. It is a assault and battery in there. I wonder if he blocks this at all. He has a wild ride in hand. It looks like he did draw that tear limb from limb.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Can he
right
even?
next to it.
I wonder if he can really pitch for Tear Limb from Limb. I don't see any other blues. I think there might be
No, I think
three
that
reds.
just might be his pitch card here. Now,
Yeah,
I don't know if the other cast bones is in his hand because if not, it's on the top. Or sorry, it's the next 2 cards,
yeah,
right?
one of the next
So
two. Yeah. I
now,
I don't see it. So.
reincarnate and mighty wind up. So the cast bones is one
Hmm.
of the next 2 cards here. So he has a triple, sorry, double blue plus um
Right.
yeah, he's just gonna take it. So I think this makes sense. He doesn't have a particularly good blocking hand.
Yeah.
Assault and battery, really not the best card in Arsenal. Looks like it might have been blue actually, blue assault and battery. So that makes
Okay,
complete sense.
okay. Yeah, you wouldn't want to save that. You're right. Totally. So
Yeah.
you can now swing back with two 6 attacks,
Yep.
plus your 5 mites, which is huge. So, and we'll see. He's gonna cycle now, so you might get something even better.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the cast bone, so it might be the next card here, and it's gonna have
He
Gogan
might.
regardless.
Yeah, he might have drawn into cast bones. Oh, maybe he didn't draw into it. It's just the last card on the top there.
Yeah, it might be the last card. This wild ride isn't gonna come in for 1 million here.
11.
It's gonna come in for yeah,
Yeah.
11 because 6 plus 5. It does have go again regardless, so he's
Yeah.
using the
So didn't
agility.
need the agility there. Yeah. So I
You
see
drew the
Wrecker
you drew the
Rump.
wrecker on. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Actually, he can't do both.
Not without pitch left. No. So I
He's just
I
gonna
I
reincarnate and
think
pass.
you probably reincarnate here because this will be lethal if you account for all the armor too. So with the 11 plus it's probably a yellow reincarnate for 6 is my guess. Um, it'll be for 17 damage, and then if you consider 13 health total plus Is that three
Yeah, it
armor
depends.
or four armor left?
Matt has 4 armor. He's
Four armor
got
from this. Yeah, okay. So
well, four
then,
plus another two, right? He's got four, and then they both block for one after. But
mhm,
I
yeah. So exactly
like,
lethal with the armor. So you're gonna be forcing Matt to block with some cards.
yeah, Matt needs to. It's kind of tough. It looks like he's got some attack reaction. He's got a hit and run. He has a bunch of 3 blocks, but at this point, Matt knows there's another cast bones coming literally right after.
Yeah, there's no
And that's
time to take a breather, really.
yeah. He probably just puts 2 cards in front of it because this could easily just be in Matt's mind. It could just easily be cast bones Arsenal pass. Like he doesn't know Noah
Right.
didn't draw into the
There's a very
cast bone.
high chance he drew it, actually, like 5 out of 6,
Yeah.
right? So, but he does end up giving everything into this 11.
Yeah, his hand is really weak. So there is a
Yeah.
reincarnate, but you see, take it on the chin. That's all you got. Blue
As a
hit and run,
blue
blue hit and run.
reincarnate for 5. So, yeah, there wasn't really much he could do, I think, into this kind of into this turn.
Yeah, hand just
Was that two
too
blue
weak.
hidden runs? Yeah, two blue hidden
No.
runs.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, 2 blue hit and
yeah.
runs. That's all you got, and take it on the chin.
Okay, and he had Sing below to at least not take too much
Mhm.
damage from that reincarnate. So actually, not all that bad. He only took 1 damage from that turn.
Interesting that Matt didn't keep the that's all you got
Hmm.
pitch because he had the agility. So what he could have done is kept the that's all you
Hmm.
got, pitched it to the gold, drew a card, swung with both sabers, and
Right.
removed the Valiant Dynamo counter. I'm actually thinking that's more than 3 value because you're converting that to 4 attack and an armor, so it's 5. I'm kind of curious why Matt didn't do that
Yeah,
and
that's a
why
very
he
good point.
insisted on blocking with the that's all you got because it's not like it gives you value. I think I would have used my
Hmm.
gold to come back for the value, but because you could just Kassai on it,
Yeah.
right? Like you could pop the gold, Kassai, swing with 2 sabers. Noah's pretty unlikely to block on a 4 card hand. And if he blocks, all he's doing is cast bone, but then you get tempo back at the very least.
Right.
So with some
Right.
armor, he could look to actually make some plays, but instead he just kind of chucked it at a 3 block. I think that's incorrect, honestly, but
Hmm.
I'm not. I don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, it's like kind of twofold. You get the value and you get the tempo. So,
Yeah, and you just Kassai, like you definitely got enough cards to Kassai again here. So you Kassai for two raw sabers, and I don't,
yeah.
because you have the agility off, take it off the chin. So you've essentially taken off the chin as a 2 block, which feels bad because you're not using the agility, right? But take it on the chin is just like very. If it's possible
Hmm.
to get the value, you should. So it looks like the second cast bone is just gonna claw cast bones. It's kind of what we thought.
Yeah, and
There's a
here we
third
see
cast
a
bones.
third cast bone, so hitting 5 out of 6. Very
Yep,
nice. Going to 7
7.
might, so he gets the agility, which is very, very
Yep,
nice.
because he had
And
the mighty wind
yeah,
up. So that's kind of the play I said before. It negates you missing, which
yeah,
is great. I love that
yeah,
card.
yeah. So importantly now, Matt has some breathing room. He's staring down like a 7 might turn, which is huge, but at least he got to keep 3 cards instead of the usual
Yeah,
1 or 2.
he does have Blade Runner. The issue is his Dynamo is still not on, and
Yeah, that's pretty
there
big.
were there were two CNCs revealed for Noah. So his
Yeah,
first CNC is going to come in for 13 go again,
yeah,
and
that's so true. Yeah,
he could literally block with 2 cards, keep there's one CNC, his other cast one's a second CNC in the blue. So if he keeps like a blue, he could literally use Tunic to CNC, which is pretty funny. So like the Arsenal is pretty
I feel like I've
doomed if
never
he
seen a
does.
double CNC turn. That's so BM.
I mean, you might depending on what. I mean, I think Noah probably is okay giving up cast bones here, like blocking with cast bones because it doesn't
Yeah.
trigger Centauri because it's a non-attack.
Hmm.
I think the agile windup is a blue. If it's a yellow, then I'm blind. That's fine. But if it's a blue, he can pay with Tunic for both of those CNCs, which
Yeah,
is
so
kind of
that'd
pog.
be really funny.
Yeah,
But
and he doesn't.
there's a slim chance that Matt's gonna have an Arsenal. I think. Looking at the hand, I see spoils and another Blade Runner. Yeah, so I think he's gonna be. Oh, actually, he didn't play spoils out. Um, would he
He
play
couldn't
it on the second
afford it.
swing? Is spoils a one? Spoils is for one, so he probably just couldn't
A
afford it.
one, it's a 1 for 2. Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
afford it off blue. He doesn't have a vigor because
Okay, so he's forced to Arsenal it into a double CNC potentially. That's rough. Yeah, but I don't think there's any way he could play that differently. Um,
so like that's the thing here. Pause for a sec.
yeah.
I just want to like kind of that that's it gets more repercussions because he used the that's all you got to block. on the
Hmm.
other turn, on the turn before, what he could have done, right, is once you attack, you get your gold back. He could have then grazed with whatever he drew if he didn't want to. Let's say if you get a
Mm.
yellow or a blue, you don't have to arsenal it. You literally pitched a grains. He could have got two more floating, and then he could have used the spoils of war because
Mm.
then you know what I mean. Like it's reoccurring. Like I
Yeah.
think that mistake
He
has now snowballed
it's
into
a
a much larger
it's
problem.
compounding. Yeah.
Yeah, like cause and effect. It's the bad kind of compounding interest. So I think
Right.
it's I I'm hesitant to say Matt Ryder's just misplaying, but just like I honestly think that might have just sealed the game to
Yeah.
block with that. That's all you got. Because if you spoils Noah here, um like Noah might still not have blocked, but getting four copper means that if you block with
Yeah.
everything and just have another gold, pitch a yellow, make your swords free,
Hmm.
play
Blood in your hands.
blood on your hands, you're going in. Like you're
Yeah.
doing some damage. Maybe you're not winning, but you have four armor. You have sorry, six armor total. Like
It's the
you're only
starting
off by
phase to
four.
being winning. Like I think that's what you need to come back really.
Yeah, and again, Noah's at like Matt would be at 8, okay, but Noah would be at 11 if he took the two swords from before. If he had go against sword sword, he would be at 11, and then the spoils,
Yeah.
if he would have taken any of that, would have be he been at
An extra
9
2.
because spoils is +2. So 8 to you see what I'm getting at here?
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
very
there
good
might have
observation. maybe someone can
I
comment
like
below
that.
if the that all you
Am I
got
out to lunch?
was
Yeah, am I out to
like.
lunch here, or is that
Yeah,
just a
I don't
misplay in
know.
my mind?
Yeah, I'll keep going. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good
It's
point though.
yeah, yeah, again, hindsight, and I can see
Yeah,
this from a nice top-down view. In
exactly.
I'm
Just
not
sitting
playing. I'm
comfortably
not
at
playing top
home
eight.
without having to like think too much. It's yeah,
Well, okay, I have to think to do a review. Don't give me
yeah,
that
yeah,
much
yeah, yeah,
slack
yeah.
here, but
We're not like, well, I guess it is real time, but being kind of in a game is a lot different than just being here and chatting.
yeah, I mean, the whole point is to review these games and look for improvements. And now the other problem is Matt saw two CNCs. Like
I
he
know
knows the
that.
spoils is not seeing the
Well,
light of day.
yeah. I mean, seeing the hand that he had, there was no way to pitch that spoils out of there. I think so. He's
Here
just
he
yeah,
ships it.
yeah. There's
And now
13.
he's just gonna get give me your
The second
spoils.
CNC. Ouch. Yeah, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I also don't know if I almost think you might have just wanted to push the spoils and not the Blade Runner on the turn before.
That's
Like
an
I think the
interesting point. I
coppers
thought of that too. Yeah, I just don't know because you still lose the Blade Runner at that point then, which is
like
less
you're
damage, but the
you're
coppers might have been better.
essentially yeah, you're essentially hoping for Noah to be like, okay, so in your six
Yeah.
cards you have two CNCs. I'm hoping that those are the cards you don't draw. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely
I think he
that
had a
is
plan
the
though for the first one at least. I think he did fully block out, but drawing the second one I think was the nail in the coffin.
Sure, that's true. I agree, but like 2 for 6, essentially, you draw one for 5. It's still like 20%. Like it's not impossible.
It's not
So
impossible. Yeah.
I still would have liked him. Like, but then you could still put the Blade Runner, and if you're right, and he doesn't get the second one, you still have a red Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. I think
the
we're really
spoils is
comparing the
unconditional.
copper gain versus the 3 damage from Blade Runner. I think that's the
Yeah,
comparison.
yeah. 2 to 4 copper. 2 to 4 copper is
Which is quite a lot.
huge.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I think the copper would go a longer way, especially if he drew blood in his on her hands. We've seen him block with 2 blood in her hands, I believe. So only one left in the deck is
Yes.
kind of a slim chance to draw it. But
Yep.
it's
But that's how
it's
you
not
turn the game.
impossible. Yeah, you got to rely
Like
on drawing that.
that's how you turn the game. You ship your armor, right?
Yeah.
Because he had a bunch of armor, so you could have just shoved an armor in a
Mm,
card or two and just blood, right? So now
yeah.
Noah discarding the mighty wind up, get a claw, get a runner, just
Mm,
swing big, just a casual 11, like a
yeah.
4 card 11.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
Pretty
start
reasonable.
seeing Noah kind of slow down though in all of the tempo he's had so far because he's used 2 blood rushes, 2 cast bones. I think he has one left of each, if I'm not mistaken. So the turns
Yeah.
aren't going to be super humongous. So I think as
Does he,
grim as it looks for Matt, it's not the end of the world because
does he have
Kassai
a
does have a
cast
lot
one
of
left?
value.
I don't
Uh,
even know if he has one left.
maybe not.
If he has a cast
Maybe he
one left.
blocked with one. I can't remember. I think did he not see the third cast bones on top when he
He
revealed
did.
the second one? So
Yeah, so he
it
must
might
have
be in his
blocked.
hand now, or he blocked with it. So it's
Or it's an arsenal.
he did draw blood rush though. So yeah, tough break I think for Matt. This is like
Yeah, Matt's
pressure
counting his
after
back.
pressure. Yeah,
But like Noah's got plenty of cards. Like Matt's at 7. That's
yeah. It's not impossible
I
to, or not a hard thing to break, to break into.
you're
I
not
think.
I don't think you're fatiguing him. Like it's not
No, no.
your deck is not built for that kind of thing when you're running
That's right.
like
Yeah.
not a million D reacts essentially. It's not like you're going a great axe,
Yeah.
fatigue control with sigils and all that kind of crap, and
The,
you're just running a bunch of D reacts.
there is something to be said though about Kayo being at 15 health after, Matt didn't really seem to have
Yeah.
any blow off turns or pop off turns.
Nope.
So consistent damage has done a really has put a dent into Kayo's health. And so if Matt had just that one blood in her hands with a few copper or just
Yep.
erase an
Could have
army,
done no,
you
could have
know,
done work.
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
So it looks like it's going to be a block for 6 on the 7 because of the blood rush
mm-hmm.
and the might.
Yep. Starting with
Um,
claw, so I guess no agility.
yeah, no agility. But because he had the agility on the last turn,
Right.
didn't he? Like the
Yeah,
one
because he
before
played
where
the cast bones and he had 7 might and
yeah,
he gained the
yeah.
agility. It was in order to place 2 CNCs, right?
Yes, which is still very strong.
Right.
So it looks like assault and
Blue.
battery, a
Yeah,
lot of
blue
blues.
wrecker. Oh, sorry, no wrecker. Sorry, it's assault and battery. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be another swing big at the top there. So
Yeah, smashing synced. That's the
smash
other
instinct
blue.
and swing big. Yeah. So
So
one more
it doesn't
big
look
attack,
like
I
he
guess.
can. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like he can do a three wide. So it looks like
Yeah.
the Blood Rush could be a 1 for 4, unless that Arsenal card is a Wild Ride or a Pulping. Those are the other two
Yeah.
options. So if that's the case, you just pay the blue. You have 2 blues, right? You pay the blue, and you
Yeah.
hope that you draw.
Wild ride.
You
Discard
you
the
hope that you
second blue,
don't.
maybe.
Yeah, you essentially hope you draw discard, like whatever you draw you discard because you want to keep the blue swing
Yeah,
big,
yeah, that's right. You just
right?
want it to be a 2 for 6 with go again. That's all you want.
Yeah, it looks like he has a. I didn't see when he when he
So
when he
blue
went. This
smash
doesn't really matter.
instinct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll see. Is Matt still deciding if he wants to block one more or
No, 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 no. It looks
no?
like
It went
Noah's
through. Yeah,
deciding.
7 to 6. Okay, yeah, so it went through. We're just paying for swing big. Okay, so the Arsenal did not seem to be a source of go again, but still
Yep.
2 for 10. Pretty strong.
Yep.
Blocking 6, taking 4, going down to 2.
Still has armor, but again, it's not like a on hit that he really cares about blocking. It's not
Yeah.
like because he doesn't want like pulping to randomly kill him too. So keeping the pulpings are pretty
He's in
important.
reckless swing territory. Oh no.
Yeah, he is. So it looks like E-Strike riled up assault and battery on the line. So it looks like he's gonna almost definitely start off with E-Strike, I imagine, unless he has another discard effect for Claw, which is also fine because he could just like pitch, discard, Claw, go again, E-Strike for 7. Like
Yep.
that's another 11
11
power.
damage
Like if he
on the
keeps
2.
if he keeps converting. Oh, nice Rainbow Folio Strike. If he keeps converting like 11 or 12 damage minimum on his turns, he's gonna win because Matt has to block with
Yeah.
his whole hand on a lot of these cards. So he's gonna fatigue
Exactly.
too.
So fatigue will be a real strategy. But getting that 12 damage per turn is kind of challenging. You don't really have it all the time. You're gonna stumble probably on that.
Yeah, Take It on the Chin is a great card, but Matt is making it look super balanced because every
Mhm.
time he creates agility, he already has a go against source, or he's just shipping the whole hand,
Right.
and so you can't even do anything with it,
Yeah.
which is making me a little angry.
Yeah, it
So
is what it is. I think it's like that's the
I
downside of it, I guess, if you can't really utilize your
I honestly
agility.
I don't totally know if Take It on the Chin is like a card you want to side into KO a lot of the
Mm,
times. I'm not 100% sure because if KO is just setting up cast bones and you're stuck with Take It on the Chin in your arsenal
yeah,
or your
yeah,
hand,
it's true.
you
Yeah.
know? Now,
Although it does
I don't
allow
know
you to
the
get that
list.
maybe that pivot turn if you block with it once and you have like a 3 to 4 card hand. Maybe you could use the agility to pivot,
True.
but it's kind of rare
True.
because you're not just giving him take it on the chin. You're going to give him extra cards. You're going to be stuck with 1 or 2, and at that point you probably already have a source of go again. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It
All
was a
right.
agile wind up yellow coming in for 6. That was the card he had in
So
Arsenal, which is good.
looking at a nice
12.
12, 6 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Just super reasonable stuff. I mean,
That was it.
there's the fist bump.
That was it. Yeah, you only had 1 card left in hand to block, so that was it.
No, he had 2 cards because he
Oh,
only blocked 2.
okay.
I think
I
Matt
don't
just
know.
threw in the towel because, like, at this
Yeah.
point, Matt, like the writing's on the wall. You can see Matt's deck in the top right there.
Oh, it's
There's
like
not a lot.
a third at
Is
least.
is yeah, like
At
this much deck
most.
left. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
unfortunate.
I
Wow.
mean, at this point, what Matt gives is 2 cards. He has like 2 armor left. He just waits to die to pulping. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I it's not. there's not really too much he can do here. It's also he's on like Noah's at 15. He has Tunic, and I think at the end of the day, like Noah can literally scabs to win. If he misses go again, he's
You're
14.
right.
He's up
Or
14
scabs and
life.
whiff. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but he's at
it's
14
you can
life. He
take a whole
whiffs,
turn
and then
off and
what?
you're fine. Yeah.
Like at this point, Matt's blocked with like almost all of his cards. He has no
Mm-hmm.
copper. Like, what's he gonna do? Is he doing 15? I don't even know if he's doing
Mm-hmm.
15. Like, because Noah can give him a card, still have 3 cards in hand, 1 card in arsenal, and still
Mm-hmm.
come back with 2 6s. Because all your blues are doing 5 or 6 off of might. So it's you're still taking Matt's cards because he's at 1.
Yeah. You're
So
taking
and
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
At least
He
three
does die
cards.
to Reckless Swing. I don't know if Noah's running into this
We
matchup or
didn't see
running
it.
at
Yeah,
all.
the cast bones didn't reveal a reckless swing, but yeah, might be one
It's
copy or
possible.
maybe two.
Possible it's possible he's not running it at all or not running in this matchup. I'm not actually
Yeah.
100% sure because we would have seen it by now,
Oh, that's
I
true.
believe,
Yeah, yeah.
because
And I
he's
don't
definitely
recall
on.
seeing it into the Dromai either. I don't know if it's the exact same deck list, but we didn't see it into Dromai, I
Mhm.
believe. So he might not be running it. And it is like a whiff,
Yeah,
right? You have a lot of cards in the deck that do whiff.
it is a whiff. He has Tearlim from Limb also,
Taylor
right?
from Limb is another
Um,
whiff card. Yeah, so it must have been a choice to not include it just based on that fact.
yeah, you could keep the extra blue. Also, like I've seen some lists have like blues that swap out for Reckless when you don't want the extra whiffs.
Right.
You, you do need to, again, as I said, if you want to beat Kassai, you want to maximize every little point of damage, maximize your Bone Breaker to get the mites on both blocks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like Clash of Agility, Clash of Might, Clash of Vigor. Oh, well, not Vigor, you can't run Vigor, but the Clash of Might and Clash
Yeah.
of Agility you can run. Very, very good. The reds, just because you can automatically get that intense value out of Warrior, specifically the Warrior matchup,
Yeah.
because you're generally going to win, other than Noah missing on the first Clash of Agility with the Blood Rush. But there, it kind of gave him some information because he was able to just like arsenal the Bear Fangs, knowing he has Blood Rush coming up, which is kind of nice. So that information is quite nice. Also, funnily enough, the Clash of Agility, I just want to mention that really, really good against Warrior because you can see what's on top of their deck. I was playing a
Hmm.
Warrior and I saw a Dory reveal Singing Steel Blade, and I'm just like,
Right.
oh, I guess I'm no blocking your next attack because like
That's a
you
very
know what I
good
mean?
point. It matters a lot more into warriors. That's true.
Yeah, it's like super good because I literally did that. I'm just like, oh, you're coming in with 3 no go against Source? I'll just give you armor, pass.
Yeah.
And they like
Turn
and
off
they glint.
reprise. Just,
Yeah, and they like glint. I'm like, okay. It's like, do you want a singing for +1? Like, you know what I
yeah.
like?
Yeah.
It's just so
It's true.
good. So I feel like
Knowledge into the warrior matchup is really the knowledge is power. I think in this case, especially into
yeah.
warrior. Yeah.
And if they don't use it, they arsenal. So now you know they're arsenal. So it's just like really, really
It's
strong.
gonna be stuck with them until they play it, probably for
Yeah.
undervalue. Yeah.
So if you're going for like the aggressive matchup into warrior, you're doing real good in life
That's
because you
true.
could literally like
Just choose not to
call
block.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, call bullshit. And now you have this like, anyways, I digress. I'm getting a little off topic here. Just like it's like I'm talking about like the warrior matchup.
Okay.
'Cause the warrior matchup is seen as unfavored by everybody. Not a single person I know says the warrior matchup. Any of the warriors are favored for KO, and I understand why. I've played it. It's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
I'll
like
just reiterate, KO being at 15 after Matt Rogers seemingly didn't do much at all this game. Just kind of
early
proves.
game,
Yeah,
he
there was a
two-carded.
bit of that. That is true. That is true.
He 2 card 7'd enough for it to be
Yeah.
like
But by
chipping
not
down the damage.
doing anything, I mean, we didn't see any pop offs really. We didn't see like the main Kassai cards that she's known to play to really take a
He just
game.
blocked.
Yeah, he just
Yep.
blocked the whole time, 2 card sevens, like you said. So I think there was a real chance for Matt. And like you said, it's unfavored for KO. I can kind of see why based on this matchup because KO
A lot
seemed
of
to have a
armor.
lot of
Yep.
stuff going his way. Probably an above average game for KO, I would say.
Honestly, I think it's kind of average, and I'll maybe slightly, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
He missed his first Clash of Agility on the Blood Rush. He then cast
Cast
Bones
bones,
for 4.
4
Like
and 5, I guess. Yeah.
I don't think that's above average. I think that's
But
actually
he
very
did
average.
okay, but he did see some threats consistently throughout the game. He saw
He
Blood
saw
Rush, I think, into Cast Bones, or maybe Blood Rush into Blood Rush. I think it might have been back to back. I forget, but it was like a consistent threat. It
Yeah.
seemed almost every turn, which is
So
a very
it's
nice way to
true.
play.
Like he did have some awkward things where he hit the yellow off, like he was supposed to hit the yellow, but so he was
Yeah,
supposed to hit the blue to claw and then pitch
yeah,
for the riled up,
yeah,
I think, but he just ended up there were some things where like definitely didn't hit, you know what I mean? Like was
yep,
not lucky. But
yep.
you're right. He definitely did have some good, you know, 2/2/2s and some good.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it was actually just attributable to Noah's game plan. Like I think he knew the game plan. He knew how to win. He knew don't let them get copper. Block when you need to
He did
block.
block at
Otherwise,
the right
just
time.
KO has better mid range value. Like this is one of the best
He
mid range deck,
he
right? Like
fully
it's
blocked out the nourishing, I think, which was very important.
yep. Because like that
He
fifth card is just so good. It's just another 3 or 4 block,
yeah.
right? He blocked out the spoils because you don't want to let him get copper.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that too, yeah.
and like that's like you want to take away all the opportunities you have because you want to give them less chances to be like, oh, I'm gonna no block and try to come back at your face, right? Well, if they have no copper, really hard for them to get unfair turns. The only time I've seen Kassai getting unfair turns
Mm-hmm.
is they blood in their hands with like 6 copper.
Yeah.
4 copper is fine, but 6 is when it gets insane. Um, or they have 4 cards in hand. They have a gold and they like cash in from Arsenal. So they have a 6 card
You're
hand,
right.
and then they're
Yeah.
able to use it. Right. That's the only way Kasai really wins the mid range slash aggro trades into
Right.
KO. Other than that, you can't because every time you try to go aggro, you get flesh bagged, and you're just like, oh, now I know these aggro decks don't necessarily like playing against KO.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the game. Congratulations to Noah for the win. It played very, very cleanly.
Yeah.
I saw 0 mistakes. Congratulations on the game. Like you did really well. Matt,
The one issue
uh,
maybe with that all you got might
I
have
think
been
that
better
I
played.
honestly think that was just a misplay, like a straight up misplay.
Right.
Because you know how I know it was a misplay? Because it then reverberated into his next turn. So
Uh-huh.
it was like a compound issue, whereas it's not necessarily a misplay if it's like a one off. Maybe it's a different choice. Like,
Right.
oh, I chose to do these equal options. It had no effect on anything else. But
Right.
like
Right.
this effect did. And that's why I kind of think it might have just been a misplay. As far as math, just think about the math,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like 3 block or
Or five
5.
five value, right? Dynamo
Five
plus four.
value 5 value, potentially more, because you just draw a card and get either an arsenal if it's a red, or
Mm.
you can trade it in for a vigor or 2 vigors, right? If they don't block off the grains. So it could have
Right.
actually been 6 or 7 because it's an extra pitch.
Right.
So
Right.
that's a big difference. And he really needed to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
do that. I think he was just kind of in the mode of giving him everything. I think he would just kind of turn his
Yeah.
brain off a little bit there.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So hopefully everyone kind of learned something. If you have any comments for the game, anything we missed, anything you comments about what we said, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And from wherever you're watching in the world, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Bye for now.